Good morning. My name is Charlotte and you have reached me at my channel here, Clue High Heeled Stitcher. This is a channel about cross stitch. If you are new here, then welcome. I hope you enjoy what you see, and if you are returning, then welcome back. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm back. So my last video, I think, uploaded 24th or 25th of March. It's now the 18th of May. So my last video, I did say that I was probably not gonna be around for a couple of months because I was in a sling. I damaged my shoulder and the doctor had said no cross stitching for 6 weeks. So I am out the sling and I have been stitching. So I think this is going to be quite a long video because I do have a lot to show you. So grab a cuppa, maybe some snacks, grab your stitching and let's get into it. We'll start off with a life update, obviously in the sling. I had to wear the sling permanently for 3 weeks. That was a bit of a struggle because Darryl had to do everything for me. He had to cook, clean, he had to get me dressed, get me in and out of the bath, in and out of the shower. He had to wash my hair. It was a lot to put up with, and realising that you're a burden. He never saw it as that, ever. And he didn't complain or moan once. He just got on with it, and I did keep apologising to him, and he just said, it is what it is, we just got to get on with it. So then after the 3 weeks, I was able to come out the sling a little bit more and do a few things. So I was spending 4 hours in the sling, 4 hours out the sling, 4 hours in the sling. So able to move it a bit more. And after another 3 weeks of doing that, I was then able to come out the sling permanently. So on the 26th of April, I was counting down the days. I was like, yeah! I had managed to do a bit of stitching in those 3 weeks after I was like rotating, but it wasn't a huge amount, and it hurt originally to use my Lowry, so I was using my lap stand, my seat frame. But after doing the exercises, stretching out the shoulder and that, working on the Lowry, I was able to do it and my shoulder didn't hurt. I occasionally will get an odd twinge here and now, but shoulder's basically back to normal. Still can't do like heavy lifting, although there's not really a lot of heavy lifting that I do. So, and anything that does seem quite heavy, Darryl will do it for me. So yeah, so my patchy pony, my prancing pony mug from Lord of the Rings. So shoulder. Darryl repainted the living room, so we went from a weird orangey cream to this lovely grey. We had, so 3 of the walls were just that weird cream colour, and then we had like a feature wall of wallpaper that had flowers on. I'll insert a picture. And So Daryl had to strip that. We got a wallpaper stripper, strip that. I wasn't really much help because that was the last weekend I was in the sling permanently, so I was there with my left hand just... I did do a bit of scraping, but I just left it to Daryl to do. And then that was the bank holiday weekend. Easter! It was the Easter weekend because it was the 4-day weekend. So stripped it all on the Thursday night. Then Daryl painted it on the Friday. And then by Saturday morning it was all done, dry. We'd put the furniture all back. So, cause he does that for a living, so he knew what to do. Yeah, so, and I love it. I love it. My giraffe's back up. And that, so... We've got some new furniture as well in here, a new TV stand, a new cabinet over there. Okay. Yeah, it's becoming like a proper home. What else happened? Oh yeah, Daryl brought a car this weekend, just gone. So that was fun. Friday, pick him up from work, and he goes, "Can we go see this car?" And I said, "Yes." There we go. There, I test drive it, and as we pull back up into the lot, the bloke says that they've just had a lorry with 7 cars turn up. So if we want it, the car that we were test driving, we could get it for 350 quid. So it's just a small little Y-Reg Yaris that Daryl can learn to drive in. So he was happy, which is the main thing. So I've taken him out once, and his brother has taken him out once in it to get used to it. So hopefully in the next, maybe not a few months, but in the near future, Daryl will be driving, which he really wants to do. So, I brought shoes, of course. I brought shoes. I felt very sorry for myself being in the sling, not stitching, so I spent money. I brought 4 pairs of shoes. One of them is a pair of trainers, so they're not exciting. But I brought 1 pair of irregular choice and 2 pairs of ruby shoes. So this should probably go in a haul, but no. I mean, I saw these irregular choice ones and I was like, yeah, no, I have to have them. I mean, they have dinosaurs on them. Dinosaurs. They're so cool. So yeah, I'm like, yeah. There hasn't been a recent release that I was like, yeah, I really need them. But when I saw these ones, I was like, yeah, no, I need them. I desperately need them. I wanted some new like summer wedges, so I found these ruby shoes on the Next website for £23. So they're just a summer wedge. Pretty. So when the weather gets a little bit warmer, they will come out. And then I was scrolling through eBay and I saw these and I went, oh my god, I love them so much. So I brought them. They were brand new in box. I think she said she'd maybe like worn them once or something, but they're pretty much brand new. So yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll have them. These come in a, because they're an older style, you can't get them like brand new from the shop. But this comes in a black and red version, which I really want. So I'm on the lookout for those. So that's my life update. Not a lot of things going on. We can, as of yesterday, we can have people in the house. Obviously, keeping social distance and all that. You can start to hug people. But you have to be selective about who you hug. And you can eat. The restaurants are now opening up their inside eating areas. So the next stage is in full swing. Whether or not we'll keep it is another matter. Whether or not we'll go into another lockdown. I'm not going to go into that because it's just depressing. So let's get into stitching, shall we? Because I've waffled on for 12 minutes now and you've not seen any stitching. Although you're probably shouting going, well, I can see something behind you. Show me that. Well, I will show you that in a second. So, I do have FFOs. I have a finish for you. My projects that I've worked on, no new starts. So we will start with the finish. So, because I wasn't able to properly stitch, but where I take Daryl to and from work, I now have a car project, one that I just grab and go, and this was my car project. I used to leave, because he finishes work at 4:30, and I used to leave here at 4:15, and it would take 15-20 minutes to get there. So, and it's only normally like a 7-minute drive. It was taking me up to 20, and I decided that I was going to leave earlier. So instead of leaving 4:15, I now leave at 4, and I get there about 10 past. So I now have 20 minutes to wait until Daryl finishes work. So I thought I'll take some stitching with me. So my car project. So my first car project was this, which was the So and So Christmas card collection number 3, and I was working on the owl up here. So I will put in a picture of where it was last time, and now it is finished. Look at that little owl. The back stitch around his nose and some of his eyes went in like middle, like the middle of the stitch, and I hate that on Ada. I absolutely hate that on Ada. So that is done. I know that there's 6 in total of the series, but I'm counting that as a finish because I've not started any of the others. And it was difficult to stitch on this because this is only like a 4.5 inch square. So it doesn't fit in a Q-snap properly. So I had to have it at like an angle in the Q-snap. So and it's 14 Canada, so it's not the best coverage, as you can see. He is cute. I'm not going to turn him into a card. I think that was a lot of stitching to be put on a card. So I'm potentially going to turn him into either an ornament or a little thing that you hang on your hanger, like a door hanger. So yes, I think if I stitch it any of the others, I think I showed in my last video, I brought some fabric and I'll stitch them all on there. I put an extra stitch at the top, so he looks like he's got like an antenna. You can see that just randomly up there, and I wasn't unpicking it. So, yes, that is my finish. Now, my FFOs. I do have 4. One of them I didn't do myself, the other 3 I did. So, when shops started opening up again last month, I decided that it was time to wash and frame Maleficent that I'd finished last year. The wonderful Lucy, part of the Inner Circle and Full Coverage Wenches, finished her huge Haid, and within 2 days of her finishing it, she had washed it, ironed it and got it to the framers. So that gave me the push of, actually, I think I should get Maleficent done. So I took Maleficent to the framers, and here she is. Look how pretty she is. So pretty. She has the anti-reflective glass. Yeah. Pretty. I love her so much. She's not currently yet on the wall. Dara keeps going, do you want me to hang Maleficent? I said, no, I haven't filled my Flosstube yet. I've got to show her off. He was like, I can just take it down. I'm like, no, that's too much effort. Just leave her on the side and we'll wait. So, yeah, she's so pretty. So, now that I've shown you all, I can get Dara to put her up on the wall. So, it's the first time I've got anything professionally framed. I literally walked in and said, I got her out and they said, what do you want? And I went, this is my first time, I don't know. And they said, okay. And they were really helpful and really lovely people. I took it in on the Saturday and they said that they were really busy. It would probably be about 3 weeks before I'd get her back. And I said, yeah, there's absolutely no rush. No rush. And then it was 9-10 days later, I got a phone call and they said, yep, she's done, you can come collect. So, yeah. I love her. She's pretty. She's gonna go on the chimney below my Lion King clock. So, probably won't get put up until this weekend now. So, that was FFO number 1. Then my next fully finished object was my chicken sow by KLT Charting. I had loads of frames, and where I wasn't able to stitch, I thought, you know what, let's spend this time doing something useful. So I got all my frames out, I measured all the projects that I had finished, and then I tied them up. I allocated the frames to the ones that were able to be finished. I haven't fully finished all the ones that were allocated, mostly because I ran out of mount board. But these are the ones that I was able to do. So the first one is the chicken sow by KLT Charting. You were just going to have to get my fireplace in the background and the reflection. So there we go. This was a pain to frame, trying to get it perfectly square. I don't think it's perfect in the frame, but unless you get a tape measure out and go, oh, that one's not square, then I think it's pretty good. This is stitched on Chromatic Alchemy Fruit Salad 18 count Ada with DMC variations and colorist threads. And this was the first KLT Charting sow that I model stitched, so I love it. This hangs up in my kitchen, so I had to climb on. Oh, we got a new table as well, because our other one I broke while trying to get the Hoover out, and Daryl fixed it, but it was sort of, it was quite an old one, and it came in 2 pieces. And one piece was fine, it was like that, but the other one started like slowly going down where I leant on it and broke it, so we decided to go get another one. So that was a bit of a hoo-ha as well, because they didn't put us on the delivery list. So when it got to the day that it would deliver it and it never showed up, I called them up and I said, where's my table? And they said, we're really sorry, we hadn't put you on the list. So they put us on the list for the first delivery the next day at 9 o'clock, and at 10:30 I get a phone call from the delivery people saying, oh yeah, we got a table for you, but they didn't put down your address on the sheet, can you please tell me what number you live at? So, but we got it, and it's brand new, and I can't break this one. Well, I could try and break it, but it's a lot sturdier than mine. So that is my chicken sow. And that lives in my kitchen. I haven't shown pictures of this on Instagram because the pictures look really weird. This looks really small in the pictures on the wall in my kitchen, but it doesn't look that small in real life, so I haven't shared any pictures of it. That's my chickens. So, make sure I do. There we go. So, that frame I got from the range. I think it was only about £4. So, my next project that I fully finished was the Kaleidoscope B, again by KLT Charting. This is stitched on 16 count Gems Dreams, also by KLT Charting. This frame I got, I think it was B&M. and it's a really nice deep frame. And in all honesty, this one's fudged. Because I've fully laced the back of the chicken sow. And I fully laced the one that I'm going to show you in a minute. But this one hasn't been laced. I've literally just shoved it in the back. Where it is so thick. And there was a lot of excess fabric on the bottom of this. I just shoved it in around the mount board. And the reason I did that is because of this crease. I wasn't able to get it out properly. So I didn't want to fully finish it, and I just said the word. Lace. I didn't want to lace the back and have it still have the crease. So I do need to iron this again. There. Yes. That is my... See, you got one. That is my bee. This was an unofficial stitch along with Nat, Love It, Live It, Make It Yours, last year when we went into lockdown. So I have obviously finished mine, but Nat has been stitching hers, and she's now got this bit of the main body and she's got the wing. She shows it off in her latest Flosstube video, so go check her out. So yeah, it's my kaleidoscope bee. Then my last FFO is my tribal giraffe, again also by KLT Charting. And this one doesn't have glitter because it doesn't have a glass on it. Okay, that is... this frame I got for £1.79 in a charity shop. This is stitched on 18 count. 18 count Ada by Chromatic Alchemy. And I want to say it's Owl's Dark Magic, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And it's stitched with DMC variations. I want to say 4025, but I may be completely wrong on that. So, I love my tribal giraffe. I love the tribal charts by KLT Charting. And I have a few that I want to get done. She has a tribal T-Rex and a tribal Triceratops that I want to turn into cushions. I have to stitch them first and then turn them into cushions. So, they are all my FFOs. The bee lives there on my wall. The chickens live out in my kitchen, and the giraffes live on my sideboard, and it matches my giraffes up there. So very happy, and Daryl still needs to put that one up. So we will move on to my projects that I've worked on. I know I've called them SIPs in the past, but I was watching, oh god, I can't remember her name, lovely lady, honestly cannot. If I can remember, then I'll put it along here, but she again doesn't like calling them whips. I don't know what her reasoning is, she didn't say, but she, instead of calling them whips works in progress, she calls them pips, as in projects in progress, which I loved. I thought that was a lot better than my sips. So I am stealing her idea and calling them pips. Projects in progress. These are in no particular order at all, but we will start off with my new car project. So this originally was a project, or the only project that I was able to work on while in the sling and like coming out of the sling, because I was able to use it on my seat stand, which is the Halloween shoes by Imaginating, designed by Pippin Studio. Now, I won this as a giveaway from the lovely Michelle McGraw, made by Michelle McGraw on Flosstube and Instagram. So I will put up a picture of what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. Sorry, it's in my grab and go bag. Ooh, needle's fallen off. Okay, let's do that. This is what happens when you're unprepared. So, yes, before, and this is what it looks like now. So before, I only had that one and that one fully finished, and that one was partially finished. I've now finished 2 more, and I've started working on the 6th. This is stitched on 18 count white Ada with most of the DMC called for. I had to swap out a couple of them. And it's got my edge needle minder. I love him so much. So absolutely love this. Love this. So yes, that lives in my grab and go bag that's normally down by the front door. I can just grab as I'm leaving, and I normally get about 20 minutes on that while I wait for Dara to finish work. So there we go. I was sort of prepared. Right, the next project that I worked on is my Snow Dome stocking by Cooler Design Studio. That is what it will look like when it is done. I will put up a picture of what it looked like before. This one's actually out of the Q-snap. The first time it's ever been out of the Q-snap. And this is what it looks like now. As you can see, I've got quite a bit of progress down on the last snow globe. Down here, I think I only had some of the blue up here. So we've got this adorable little penguin that's appeared. The start of a polar bear, and this one is going to be, I think, a brown bear. I might, if I don't say myself, if I do say myself, a very awesome, cute little French knot for an eye, because I really enjoy doing French knots. And backstitch. I love doing backstitch and French knots, so as you can see. But there is some etoile. This is all etoile. It originally called for Krennic, but I couldn't find Krennic in the UK, so I tried the DMC Light Effects. I did not get on with those, so I thought that I'm just going to swap it for some etoile. It makes it a lot easier, and I love stitching with etoile. So this is how far? I'm down to the last page. There's only about 5 or 6 more stitches to go that way, and then that's the edge of it. And that's the full stocking. And then once all the stitching is done, I've got to go back up and start the back stitch. So it will be done by this Christmas. This is stitched 16 count white Ada that I had in my stash. I'm pretty sure I got from the charity shop. The next project I worked on was, we'll go with the beach huts. The KLT Charting Beach Hut sale, which is currently out. We are 3 releases in out of 6. The latest release got 2 days ago. The latest part got released 2 days ago. So again, I've pulled it out of the Q-snap so you can see all 3 of them. I apologise for the creases. This has been on an adventure because I stitched number 1, then my shoulder injury, which meant I wasn't able to stitch part 2 in time for the release, so it went travelling to Wales, and it went to Jen, not Cross Jen, who stitched Beach Hut number 2, and then she sent it back to me so I could finish it off. But I am so very, very grateful for Jen for offering to do that for me, so that it could get stitched in time. Her stitching is so neat. It's so neat. I am extremely jealous because she got to stitch the crab, and those French knots for eyes are absolutely amazing. They are so neat as well. So very, very happy. So again, thank you, Jen. You're a lifesaver and amazing. So, 1, 2, and 3. This is stitched on 18 count hand-dyed Ada, again by KLT Charting, and it is called Crystal Nile. It was a limited edition last year. So, there we go. This is still available to purchase and join in with. The next release is on the 15th of June, so I will be working on that. My next project that I worked on is, let's go with Yeah, it's right in front of me. The Wildlife Stocking. Again, cooler design studio. This is a full coverage. All that white is stitched. So that's there. I will put in a picture of where it was before. I think I only had about 200 stitches in it. And this is where I am now. So it's moved down. You can see a bit of a line where I'd done that, but I'm hoping that once it's been washed and worked, you won't be able to see that, which is why I started feathering there. And I think this is the start of a bird. Yeah, a bird. Oh. Okay. This again is stitched on 16 count white Aida, which is the second half of that, because the piece of fabric that I got from the charity shop was huge. I was able to get 3 projects out of it. So that, my needle minder is from Magpie's Minders on Etsy, the lovely Claire. So, and this is just all the called for DMC. And my final project is, of course, Dominic, or Mary Beth, the Christmas Donkey by the Cross Stitch Studio. I haven't done a huge amount on this one, only about 1,500 stitches. And this is where we are. So I finished this column, which gave me a finish on page 3 finish, and then I started working down this one. This is stitched on 28 count even weave 1/1 full cross, and this is his ear. I've got more of his ear coming along, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get back into background quite soon. Yes. Now that I'm doing it block by block parking, and I really am enjoying it. Get back onto that. So that is all the projects that I have worked on. There. Oh, not too bad, 45 minutes. Right, I know some people love haul, some people don't love haul. I love haul, so we shall move on to haul, and I have a little bit of stitchy kindness, which I will show in a second, and then I will do a giveaway. So, giveaway at the end. So we will start off with stitchy kindness. So the first bit of stitchy kindness is this pencil case that the lovely Nat got me, and it says Totally Fierce, and it's awesome. It's perfect for just a little project. I think she said she got this from the range. She got her one and she got me one, and it's quite nice, it's quite sturdy, so I will be using that. Not normally one for pink, but I love leopard print and I love green, so yeah, and I love the little tassel on it as well. So now that I've shown you, I can use that for a project. Next little bit of stitchy kindness was from the lovely Jen, not cross Jen. So when she sent me back the beach huts, she also gave me her Raven Queen chart from Mirabilia, because I absolutely love this. Absolutely love this. And she's so beautiful. And Jen did an amazing job stitching hers. So she sent me the chart, and she also sent me the leftover beads and the leftover threads. So thank you, Jen. I have thanked her, obviously. So this is now going to go in my, I must start this pile, but where I'm doing no new starts this year, it won't be started this year, but I can definitely kit it up. And then once she is done, obviously in about 20 years time, I will again pass her on once I am done. So love it. Next we have the hall. So when we were decorating the front room, I found this. Dara and I love Egypt. We love ancient Egypt. I think the love of that came from the movie The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. Love it. Absolutely love it. And he always mentioned that he'd love the Egyptian decor in the front room. So I found this awesome tea light holder, oil burner thing, and it's on my mantelpiece at the moment, so I'm going to just go grab it. Excuse me. So, oh, there it is. And I showed this to him because I was looking for a wax burner for my growing collection of waxes that I've got from Scentsy and Imperial Candles. And I saw this and I went, oh, Tara, look at that. And he went, oh my god, that's amazing. I said, should we get it? And we went, yeah. So we got this. It's not been used yet because I'm sort of like, I don't know if I want to use it or not. So we got this. This now sits on the mantelpiece. And I also have this scarab that I got when I went to Egypt when I was a teenager. So they sort of sit next to each other. And so, long story short, we want the front room to have some Egyptian stuff in the front room. So while looking through and not being able to stitch, I found this book, and it's called Ancient Egyptian Stitch. The plan was to stitch him. He be Tutankhamun. I have seen his mummy. When we went to Egypt 10 odd years ago, we went to the Valley of the Kings. It was a Nile cruise. We went from Luxor down to the Aswan Dam and back up to Luxor. And on the last couple of days, we went to the Valley of the Kings. So we were able to see a couple of the tombs. And it, if you paid extra, you could go down into Tutankhamun's crypt. So I was like, I'm not missing this opportunity. So me and my mum went down there. We paid the extra, we went down there. And I think like 2 months previous, they'd brought back his mummy into his tomb. So he was there. And it was amazing to see. It's basically just a dead person. But it was amazing to go down there. It was so steep getting down into his burial chamber and that, and we saw his sarcophagus, we saw all that. The only thing that I didn't see was his death mask. So I do want to see that. But yeah, so I was planning on stitching him. And in one of them is... So that is the Luxor temple, which again I have been to. I've walked around there. So I wanted to stitch that as well. It's not the best detailed, but it's somewhere that I can go, I've been there. So, yeah. That. The other thing, so after I brought this, I actually found on Artisy that they have a more detailed chart of Tutankhamun and a couple of the other pharaohs. So I brought that Tutankhamun chart. It's a round one, and I will put in a picture of it here. Yeah, I'm going to try it because the chart's on one page. So that is the Luxor temple. You walk down, so this goes back, and there's a huge line of these statues either side, and you walk down there to get into the Luxor temple. So yeah, the plan is to stitch those. I don't obviously know when, but I have all these plans. So I also brought, what did I buy? Oh, yeah. Keeping on the ancient Egypt, I thought I saw a Bella Filipina chart of Cleopatra, and it was a recent release, or it was coming up as a release. So I was looking through Arts and Design, and I found her. So this is Cleopatra, Queen of the Nile by Bella Filipina. Rather glare. So I am going to be stitching her. I am going to change her skin colour because she is extremely pale, and they're not that pale. So I'm just going to darken her skin up a little bit. But she looks so beautiful. So, brought her. And again, charts can't put my teeth in. Charts can't travel alone. So I then also brought this Plum Street Samplers Fox View. Now I'm not normally a sampler girl, because I only have one sampler on the go, and that's Pandemic. But since I first saw these, and I see people stitching these all the time, like Rachel Ray is stitching Foxview, Erin, the Two Martini Stitches, she's done Gobble Gob. I love them. I always go, oh, I love that. So I was like, you know what, no, screw it. I am going to buy them. So the plan is that I am actually going to stitch these in the fancy flosses that it calls for. Which means I've got to find them. But yes, so that is Foxview. So good. My fabric for November, Turn Up from KLT Charting. So this is double denim. Which is, it's a pretty, it's probably a little bit more blue. But you definitely see the mottling, and it's so pretty. So it's a really nice neutral. So, I had my 18 count Ada from her, oh god, ages ago. But there was obviously a problem getting the 32 count Murano. She was able to get that from her supplier, which means she was able to get all the back orders done. So that was my November. Oh yeah, my October, which was called Trick or Treat. Yeah, that's pretty true to colour. It's so beautiful. I'm thinking, when this arrived, I was like, oh, that is stunning. I'm thinking Bella Fina Pina, Cleopatra on there. I'm hoping. So, what do you all think? Do you think it will go? Or do you think I should go for a different colour? But I saw that and I was like, yeah, I really like that. So I'm thinking that. So, then my January pack arrived, so this is my floss pack that I get because I'm part of her stash club. Resolution threads, hand dyed. The mystery gift was some bobbins and a bobbin ring. And then, so yeah, January's limited edition fabric is called Resolution. This is the 18 count Ada. Lovely oranges and hints of purple and pink in there. And then we've got the 32 count even weave. Yeah, look at that. No, I was wrong. I was wrong. No, I saw this and went, oh no, I want this one on. I want Cleopatra on this one. That was it. Cleopatra on this one. And the October one was Maya, the Moon Goddess by Bella Filipina. That was it. That was it. I do apologise. My mistake. So, yes, that was it. This one on Resolution. Do we think that will go? Or do we think Trick or Treat would be better? Oh, I don't know. I'm not the best with picking out colours. I've done it 2 or 3 times where I've picked out a colour and gone, oh yeah, no, I really like that. And then I've started stitching and it's the colours have been lost, or it's just not looked as good as I thought it would. Whereas Daryl, on the other hand, is amazing at picking these colours. Because originally, with the tribal giraffe, I picked that out on a green. And when I started stitching it, you couldn't see it. So I gave him my fabric and I told him, find me a piece that the giraffe will look good on. And he picked that. And it does. Look, you can see it perfectly. Let's just... whatever. And he picked out these, the colours for them. So yeah, I might just get him to choose. But I do want, yeah, Resolution or Trick or Treat, or neither, maybe something else. So popped to the charity shop and we found this handbag mirror cross stitch kit. £2. Comes with obviously the mirror. Back, it's full kit. And it comes with the design, but I don't know if I'll stitch that. I'm not a huge flowery person. Maybe find something snarky on it. And again, I found another one. Again, £2. And again, it comes with the fabric and the chart, but I probably won't stitch it. That daffodils. And the last thing, though I found a lot more, but most of it had been used in something else. So this Mill Hill beaded ornament. Comes with all the beads, the perforated paper, and then the last thing was, I've stopped buying magazines because I just felt that they were getting, they weren't me though, there was nothing really in there that I would stitch. But last month's World of Cross Stitching came out, and on the front was Wallace and Gromit. Now if you've watched me before, a couple of years ago, you will have seen that I stitched Wallace and Gromit that was in a Cross Stitch Crazy mag a few years ago, and I stitched that for my granddad because we used to watch Wallace and Gromit when we were younger together. So I stitched that for him, and then when I saw this I was like, oh yes, no, I've got to get that. And the plan is that I'm going to stitch this for him as well. He probably doesn't want it, but yeah, I'm going to do it anyway. So, that. The background there is actually half stitch. The red and the green are full. The yellowy orange is half stitch. I don't know if I will stitch it half stitch. But we'll wait and see. So yes, that is Wallace and Gromit. I will also be purchasing this month's World of Cross Stitching magazine because it has an Anne Stokes dragon in it, and that is actually out today, so I might pop around the shop and see if they've got it. So there's that, and it came with a free kit which I will not be stitching. Yeah, I will not be stitching that. So yeah, that's everything, I think. Let's do giveaway. So there will be 2 items up for grabs. First thing, I guess, will be this, because there is no way I am stitching that. So if you want this, if you say hedgehog, there you go. If you put hedgehog in your comment, you can have that. And then the other thing will be these beautiful hand-dyed threads by KLT Chapter. You will get 2 smoky rose, which is pinks and greys, and you will get 2 Pompey tides, which is blues. So if you want the threads, say Pompey, Pompey. I will do random comment picker when I next do my video, which hopefully will be in 2 weeks now that I'm stitching. So there we are. I hope everyone is keeping safe and well, and I will see you in hopefully about 2 weeks' time. So stay safe, happy stitching, stitch on people, bye!